Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud.
And David Lauer.
I have no clue. I mean, we're full of all these ideas, these questions, because in the very beginning, TJ gives us nothing. He says, "Hey, you guys are with your cousins," and they're all like, "No shit."
Yeah, you told me to call them on the phone, so I did. And now they're here.
And so he's like, "Well, you guys like money, right?" And they're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay, well, if you get to the end, you and your bloodline get to the end, you have a share of $350,000. I will not tell you how that's going to be divvied up." So he says, like, "Okay, take off to your villa," which is the same house that they lived in previously on Battle of the Seasons. The last time they were in Turkey, they were in that house.
I know. I remember this house. I did like the house, but it's also weird because it's like, why am I seeing the same place again?
Yeah.
Like, I don't ever remember seeing the same location
cheap.
twice.
After thinking about it, after watching it twice, I'm like, this was a cheap decision. Cuts were made, and they were just like, same house.
Well, how else are they going to get $350,000 for the final?
Yeah, really. Yeah, that's the big explanation at the end. They're like, guess what? You get 100,000 of it, and the rest, production, we are so in the red.
We need to pay the rent for this villa. This is the cheapest one, and it's still really expensive.
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, if I was the challenge cast, I would be like, TJ, why did you make us stand out here for the opening shot at midnight? It's always dark at the premiere, and castmates have always said this is at like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and we just got off a jet, and we're all jet lagged as fuck, and it's always dark and it's always cold. And so they show up, and they always got to be like, what? We're with rivals? They really have to play it up. Or we're with exes?
Yeah.
They fucking figure it out. They just have to play it up. They've all said that. They're like, well, the producers are like, hey, come on, we're making a show, goddammit.
Yeah, there's no surprise of who your partner's going to be. You've been talking to him the last couple months.
No, so this is their cast audition for any kind of movie. Who could sell it the most, Because a lot of them don't want to be doing challenges for the rest of their life. They want to be actors. That's why they're on TV. They want to act.
They want to be the Miz.
Yeah, they want to be the Miz.
It's not going to work out for all of them.
It's not going to work out for the Miz.
Yeah. So now that, basically all TJ says, have fun while you can, go party, and then they all go to the house.
And do that, to the same
And Nani
house.
is running into first place, checking out the house.
Yeah.
Because maybe I've been here before, so she wanted to see everything she's already seen.
This was my very first season.
Shouldn't you at least let Candace or someone from the new cast, who hasn't been there,
or a star, let Leroy do it. Let Bananas do it. Run into the house first. But no.
I don't think they really cared because they're like, Bananas is like, I saw this one on TV. Another team they did an intro on that I really enjoyed was Jill and Cahuta's. Jill was saying that their papaws are brothers, so they're cousins that way.
My papa and his papa. They're like, are you singing to us right now?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know any of my grandpa's brothers who have grandkids. I don't know that far of an extended family for me. I can't be cousins. I'm not cousins with someone like that.
Well, it helps that they're all living probably in the same trailer.
Presumably. It is if they're cousins that way, is that kissing cousins? What are the rules in Georgia?
Well, you know what though? Oh my God, that could be true because Jill, delayed her own wedding to be on this show.
She did.
Remember that?
With her cousin Freddie.
The other cousin.
The other bloodline.
I was going to say, why would you do that for some random cousin? A cousin that's not barely related from your papas only.
Maybe because Cahuta is fucking ripped and the time is now. And he's like, I've been working nonstop.
She's like, before I say yes to cousin Kevin, Cahuta's looking fine. He's put on muscle.
They do have who is it? Tony and Christina hooking up.
Oh yeah.
You see that? I loved right at the beginning. Christina says, "If you have a girlfriend, I would never overstep those boundaries, ever. And then fast forward a fucking hour later.
Yeah, when we hear the audible sounds of a belt unbuckling and pants being dropped to the floor and slurpage going on. Like, okay, well, maybe not the last part.
And Tony says, well, just because we wanted to talk away from the cameras doesn't mean anything happened.
Yeah.
He's like, I know how you guys are going to try and cut it.
Like, yeah, that's right.
It's like playing that card and it's like, oh, okay. It's like,
that's pretty smart. But you know what, Tony...
He covers a lot of bases in this. He has an integral part in a lot of the different stories. First, he's in like a social thing, or hooking up with Christina, and then later we see him get into a fight with a bunch of the girls. Yeah. We'll get into that later. Oh my God. We want to talk about that now?
Well, okay, we can, just with Tony. Not only did he hook up with a character, like that happens all the time, right? But he comes with a lot of history. His previous season on Skeletons, Real World Skeletons, he was like playing 3 chicks at one time. That's one of our fans. Was just like, oh, Tony's...
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. And it's been confirmed. Yeah, he was playing like 3 chicks at one time.
But he settled on the one, and they were really
happy. Is currently
right?
pregnant with his kid.
What?
They are now separated, and yeah, she's
good for her. Yeah, fucking dump that asshole, fucking cheating bastard. What the fuck? Like, why are you gonna go tell your girlfriend, like, hey, yeah, no, we're good, and then you're gonna go, and you immediately already know you're gonna bang the first chick you can get with.
Yeah.
Like, you should just tell your girlfriend, I think we should see other people. We'll see how we stand after the show. Don't go in with a commitment. Because, he says he's not gonna do anything. Hour and a half later, he's like, oh, alright, yeah.
Yeah, totally true. And I would also sit down with that said girlfriend who is pregnant and say, you did watch that season where it was revealed on a television show to millions that he was playing 3 chicks at one time. That's the kind of guy he is. Did you really consider commitment from him?
Yeah, if he's put in that same situation again, he'll just repeat the same action.
Day one. Remember, the sun came up really early? So he's only been there for like maybe 4 hours, not even 3 hours, and he was.
And they're all on different time there, so it was right when their bedtime was when the sun is coming up. So they're like, well, we can't go to bed now that the sun's coming up, so we're gonna stay up all night.
Yeah. Oh,
that was kind of cool.
I personally enjoyed back in the day drinking until the sun came up and continued to drink again. Like, it was such a cool feeling because just be drunk when the sun comes up and it's beautiful. The same thing could be said if you watch the sunset and you're drunk. It's just, being drunk.
Yeah, sunsets and some people say sunrises are prettier than sunsets.
And now imagine
those people are obviously insane.
Imagine having
so damn early
beer goggles, watching the most beautiful natural thing that's ever occurred: the sun coming up.
Orgasm?
The sunrise.
Or the sunrise. Yeah.
The sunrise is more universal than an orgasm. Some girls can't achieve it.
Well, if they're with guys like Tony, it's gonna happen.
They did get in each other's face, but you could also say Nani got in his face as well. Camilla did as well. Larissa did as well. And you could, because they had just about the same amount of screen time. So I was like,
Tony has to be smart in this. Like, dude, just walk away. You're outnumbered. Like, what you're arguing, just say, you're right, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, I'm sorry, Instead, he's just like, oh, I never said that, It's like, dude, you've been drinking, you don't know what the fuck you're saying.
You know what, you saying like, hey, walk away, bro, you're better than this, you're drunk, you sound like Shane, his brother, because he basically said the same thing. He's like,
exactly.
What are you doing? Why are you up in these people's faces? Like, you scared me, bro. Like, you look like you were going to hit a girl, and that's not cool. Like, he was like, kind of calling him out on some serious shit in front of the cameras, saying, you look like you were going to hit a woman, and that's not cool. And he was making Tony seem pretty bad. Pretty fucking psycho, pretty, like, kind of, like, out of control and stuff. He's like, you're letting this house get to you and stuff like that, like, drop the pride, like, this isn't you, like, all this shit. And after a while, Tony's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. He was getting pissed. He fucking lunges at him, just pushes him into the wall.
Like, I like this team because both of these guys on this team, like, one's a loose cannon hothead, one's, just seems like kind of a crazy entertaining dude, and Shane. But like you were saying, as they get into this fight, like, Tony just starts charging at him from like 10 feet away.
How do you feel about this? I mean, these are brothers. Like, they have a lot of shit on each other, right? He fucking pushes him back, and Shane, he really starts to kind of panic. He really kind of like, what the fuck are you doing? He's the only one who threw a punch. He actually did punch Tony.
He did, but Tony charged him, grabbed him by his tank top and his scarf. Yes, he was wearing a scarf. Tony grabs him by his tank top and scarf, and then just like lifts it up right by his throat and kind of throws his throat into the wall, so his head is like hitting the wall, and then those plates. And then he drives him over to the right towards the other door.
Into the producer's door. We're like, hey, we're trying to edit, you bastards, and looking nice. And what are you doing? You guys are fighting each other.
It's like, Chuck, cut to camera 4. Camera 4. But Tony won't have that. He's pushing Shane. And Shane's freaking out because he's getting, like, he's grabbed from, like, his shirt and getting thrown around by Tony, who weighs a lot more than him, is a bigger dude than him.
Yeah.
Shane throws a right and a left or whatever it was. One that seemed to hit him good and the other one kind of missed. Yep. But he did hit him once.
That's physical contact right there. Like that's
personal
a face
foul.
mask.
That's 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
So now everyone is like, Shane, are you okay? And Shane's like, this is the closest time he's ever come to like punching me and stuff. And Nani and Nicole and Camilla, they're all just like, he's a psycho. What the fuck is the matter with them and shit? They're just like saying all the shit about him, right?
And you know they have drinking copious amounts of wine at this point because we've seen them when it was like totally. It was hours before in their first opening their bottle of wine and having their glasses.
Yeah.
Nani's not even holding a wine glass anymore. It's just like this juice glass filled with wine. Come on.
Well, they're saying all this smack about like, holy shit, he shouldn't even be on the show and blah blah blah. Now, I actually watched Meet the Bloodlines. Did you watch that one?
Yeah, I did.
Something like that. I thought it was on that one, or an episode before, or an interview where it was revealed that Shane threw a knife at Tony back when they were kids.
What?
Getting in a fight. Their whole relationship was based on like how Shane, he knew he was different, and Tony knew too, but yet Shane couldn't. He didn't know what it was, but he was violent with Tony. He threw a knife at Tony, and it wasn't until he came out that he realized what all the problems were between the two, with himself, all the shit, right?
So
that's
Tony hated
shit.
Shane because he was gay?
No, Shane was mad at Tony because he didn't know what the fuck he was. He threw a knife at Tony. So now people
but maybe Tony was being a dick to him first. Not accepting his scars and his nail polish.
Okay, so...
So what if he likes to sew? Lots of guys like to jump rope.
All right. So what you're saying is that Tony, to me,
they said that his dad died, and Tony kind of was raising Shane.
Shit,
he was the older guy. Tony should have been a better older brother. Like he shouldn't have been like making his little. Like he should have been a little more caring somehow. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm
playing, Monday morning psychiatrist right here. I know these guys grew up.
Hungover psychiatrist, everybody, after the Packers win.
Exactly.
What am I getting at? But no, I'm just trying to say, Shane threw knives at Tony in anger. Tony came the closest thing to hitting him right then. I'm just saying, it's like, come on, weigh it. Tony's not the psycho here. Shane is a little bit more psycho.
But he wasn't acting psycho. He was being flamboyant and yelling at him.
But he never did. When he threw the knife at him back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
It was never on camera, but still.
But that doesn't mean Tony needs to charge him and like throw him up against the wall.
Maybe he does. He's like, you know what? I never put knives on the wall back in the day, so when I put him on the wall, he knows to calm down. I brought this guy up.
Maybe this is the shitty parenting he was doing ever since Shane was 7 years old.
Yeah.
Maybe he's an abusive father, but he's an abusive older brother.
Yeah.
Maybe, they asked Shane, has this ever happened before? Like, no, it's the first time. Even though he's got like a black eye that looks like it's a week and a half old. Like,
but he covers
battered little brother syndrome. And at one point, Cara Maria was still in the lead.
Jill was also doing really, really good. She was like maybe first or second. I thought that Jill and Cara Maria were kind of changing places. In terms of like who was doing better.
Yep.
But let's focus on the people that were doing the worst. Candace, Leroy's cousin. Leroy's teeth-braced cousin. She has braces on her teeth. The original grill, if you would. Like it was very weird to see a grown woman. I mean, she looks grown anyways.
Tons of people have braces. So
on television? When was
tons
the
of
last
people
time you
have
saw that
braces.
on reality TV though, or television?
I don't watch reality. I only watch the challenge.
Right.
So it's I have no.
Good for you.
I have
Me
no
too.
comparison.
But like,
I'm not watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians and Snooki or something.
oh, you're mixing genres. Not at all though. It's all the same shit. But no, the challenge.
But, yeah,
was
and
about-
Candace, she says before she's about to do anything, she's like in that like the 1-on-2 or whatever, the camera guy with Candace and Leroy, or Roy Lee, as he likes to call himself. Candace says, she's like, I'm about to kill it. 100%, 1,000%. 1,000%? All right, let's see it,
Yeah.
Candace. What do you got? And she
performed like Leroy. All talk.
oh, no, shut up, Vince. No way. Leroy's freaking awesome. In missions, he kicks ass.
All right, now this is the common.
And Candace, she obviously did not. She sucked.
She did, yeah. She was really bad. Like she put the bucket on her head like a dunce cap, and just you saw her pathetically
Yeah.
try and climb it.
And it's like,
fall
how do
every
you
time.
climb? Like, how do you walk? You use your legs. But she's trying to climb up this mound. She's not even using her legs. She's just like pulling at dirt with her hands. It's like, lift up a knee. Come on. What are you doing?
As soon as Candace was doing bad, people who have talked about the show and whatever, they're just like, oh, once again, Leroy, you feel bad for him every season because he has a terrible partner or whatever.
He had a great partner last year.
And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. But free agents, he was an individual.
Yep.
And he sucked again. In fact, he was pretty goddamn bad. He decided to fucking throw every mission just to stay safe, just to be safe from Laurel. I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
I'll
he did.
just
I
leave it
mean,
like
he
that.
did do that. But Leroy, he's proven to be good.
Yeah, he is good, but he doesn't deserve like the whole like, oh, feel bad for him because his partner's bad. He performed bad all by himself. I'm sure, Leroy had a few good scenes or whatever, but don't feel sorry for him because he's had his shot in free agents. So any other time he shows up with a partner, you can't be like, oh, it's the partner's fault. He had his fucking shot.
Okay, first off, Leroy is a good competitor. All right, yeah, he's lost at times, and it was his own fault.
He's lost every time, technically. He has. I mean, I'm sorry.
You can say that about the majority of people on.
He won a runner-up. That's the best he's ever done was recently.
So if you've never won it all, you're terrible. So
No,
Tejada is terrible.
I'm not
Carmaria
saying
is terrible.
I'm not saying he's terrible, but
He's not good. That's what you're saying.
I'm just
Just because you haven't won it all doesn't mean you're not a good competitor and you're not worthy of respect.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to feel sorry for him because of his partner. I think it sucks that he has a bad partner because ultimately he's going to need, if it's a partner game at the end, you're going to need a good partner. And like Candace does not look, she looks like Devin material when it comes to performing in a final.
Shit.
Right?
What a diss.
She's like Carly. Like Landon and Carly. Yeah. Fresh Meat too?
But again, I say
I
don't
don't
feel sorry for Leroy because he knew his cousin. He's known his cousin his entire life.
That is true. Why the hell would he pick this as his cousin? Like, was he forced to pick a girl? Maybe they're like, no, Bananas is bringing his brother, or his cousin, so we want you, Leroy, to get a girl cousin. And that was the only option. Maybe that was the best he had to pick from. Because otherwise, if he could have gotten, like, a dude who was athletic, a bit of guy team, that would put him at an advantage.
A bit of a reveal. I have looked into this just a little bit, a smidge, and they've said producers ask you, tell us 3 people that could be on the show, and have those 3 people submit a videotape. You know what I mean? And producers will be like, you know what, Leroy, you have a uncle. That's amazing. He's only like 2 years older.
His name is Uncle Rico.
Yeah,
He's 45.
Okay,
Listen
well
to
you have a brother, and he's like, you mean as in the black way or
As a friend or as a blood relative?
So anyways, producers ask him that, and he says, yeah, I have a brother that I would like to perform with. I also have a friend that I would like to perform
So is your brother your friend? Or is he just a
And
brother?
they're like, no, it has to be bloodlines, blood related. He's like, okay, cool. I'm actually a Crip, so blood is not gonna factor in any of this. And then he says, I also have a cousin named Candace. Now, say his brother submits a video, and he's like, you know what, me and Leroy get along very well, actually. And I have so much respect for him. But then they watch the video, and they're like, he's very boring. He's really fucking boring. And then they watch the video of his fucking Crip member, and they're like, you know what, he kind of sparked some interest, but he just got shot.
We can't get him through airport security.
Yeah. So out of those 3 people that they submit, they're just like, you know what? In the end, we're gonna have it there. So Leroy ends up with his fucking female cousin. That's the big thing that I've heard a little bit. Like, that's a possibility. So either way,
And it seems like the producers might have screwed him over because, like, Bananas, he gets a brother. Dario, he gets a brother. Thomas,
Bananas
he gets a brother.
gets a cousin. His cousin Vinny.
Yeah,
but
but he gets
Vinny.
a guy.
Vince.
And it seems like if you're going to do similar challenges where you have girls and guys doing the same thing, the guys usually have an advantage.
Yeah. Yeah,
because
and,
you
and
know they're
felt.
taller, they're longer, they can jump a little higher, be a little faster. It helps them in all these challenges, so it seems to be an advantage to be a guy-guy team. So Leroy kind of might got screwed.
Yeah, you know, Vince and Johnny being a guy-guy pair, they actually do really well. Let's just cut to the guys' heat now. And they're doing really well. And you know what? Cara Maria is like, hey, I order what Jamie? Yeah, she's like, Jamie, my bloodline, my cousin, and fill in Kahada's cylinder. And Kellyanne is like, hey, cousin, whatever, Anthony.
Yep.
Take your Spartan racing ass and bring those buckets and fill Kahada's cylinder. Because I used to bang him. We have a history. And apparently Cara Maria likes Kahada as well. They're just like,
no. Is there a history that we don't know behind Kahada and Cara Maria?
If there
Wouldn't that be
is,
interesting
why the
for
fuck
us?
isn't it on video? Like,
Should
those
be.
two are amazing. They should be together.
I know. They're never in scenes together.
Oh my god, they're the same person. I knew it.
How is it going there?
God is like, I put on this wig, put on some eyeliner. I'm Johnny. He's Johnny Depp, you know. But then he puts in a few nose piercings,
rings,
and now he's
eyeliner.
instantly Cara Maria.
Okay.
Yeah, and Abram is like, no wonder my ass hurts every time we fuck.
Wow.
No, you know what though?
I never would have predicted that the first episode of Bloodlines would be like Anissa hot.
No,
Yes.
that is weird.
I've
That's
never
so
once
weird.
felt that way. Like, we reviewed The Duel. I was totally against Anissa. I didn't
You
like
were.
her at all.
You were.
Now
And
it's
how
fucking
many
10 years
years
later,
later?
and I'm like, oh,
Wow.
she's hot.
Holy shit. You know what? Maybe Anissa is like a vampire of hotness. You know,
Yeah,
you
like
know
a
that
red
vampires-
wine vampire hotness. Like,
What's
it's
that mean?
better with age. Red wine.
Yes, but I'm saying when you're a vampire, they say you can't be pictured, caught in a picture or on video. You ever hear about
Yep, I've heard that.
that? Anissa's hot, but you cannot see it on fucking camera.
You can on the season.
More pictures.
Oh yeah, the video.
Well, maybe she's a daywalker now. I don't know. Maybe she's getting cured.
1080p don't
But
lie.
no, you know, it's
Anissa's
the
got it
garlic
going
of
on.
cinema. It's the garlic of television.
Anissa's got it going on this year. Just admit it. She's hot.
No.
Corey scored.
So all right. So next, oh my God, next, Cara Maria's like, give me the champ. Give me that low hung son of a bitch, Thomas. Okay, she didn't say that, but
I'm sure she wanted to pick Thomas like 3 rounds earlier, and it was killing her inside.
Yeah.
But I think Jamie probably knew, well, I'm just going to put him over there. Like, I'm sure he wasn't ever going to take Steven.
Yeah, you don't think so?
I doubt it.
Well, either way,
And
Cara
they're a
Maria-
team that's kind of equal.
Yeah.
Thomas might be a little bit better, but he's Thomas. And Cara Maria, like, you should almost split them up. But
So yeah.
but during the it
if
doesn't really
Jose-
matter whose team they're on.
I mean, if they are
It is-
twins, yeah. But I mean, what I'm trying to get at is that Cara Maria says, "Give me the champ," and had Cara Maria said that about me, and I was standing up there, oh my god, I would have to wait and stand behind those people until my boner went down. You know what I mean?
Well, you'd be standing behind Cara Maria, and she'd have her hand behind her or something.
Whoa, holy shit. She's like, let's go to a bathroom.
She doesn't give a shit. If Bananas has, like, a GoPro 3 feet away from her, and that's not stopping her. Like, Cara Maria don't care. It's weird. This is the first time we've ever seen her doing this with other than Abram.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Because it's always been Abram.
Both times it was, yeah. I mean, I remember Rivals 1, she had the Abram pillow. I don't know if you remember that. It was a pillow made out of a shirt and stuffed and had a heart that said Abram, and she would just like hug that all the time. It was awesome. But now, where's that pillow? I'm sure Thomas fucking saw it at the airport, threw it out. It's like, oh, yeah, now the seeds have been planted, right?
He tossed it down in the gutter.
Yeah. He's like, Steven, put your ass with this. Throw it out. Okay, so now we cut to the actual meeting between Cara, Maria, and Bananas. They're just like, oh, well, what do you know? We're on the same team. And they're trying to make, pleasantries or whatever. And Bananas is like, yeah, I mean, could you imagine, being with this team the whole thing? I just hope we don't have a puzzle where, like, some of the girls are a non-factor. He says that. And Cara Maria's like, what do you mean by, like, which girls? All of them? And Bananas like, I'm not going to name names. But they basically say to each other that they have, like, some of the worst girls. So even though Bananas is being extremely sexist about saying, like, let's get rid of the girls, Cara Maria's like, I kind of agree with you. Kind of like how Evelyn kind of agreed with the vets in Gauntlet 3. She was like, I believed him. There shouldn't be girls on here. And they're like, what about you, Evelyn? You're a girl. It's like, are you sure?
Evelyn, obviously, she was the butchest girl ever. Like, she was a tough
she's adorable, though. She's
she
cute.
Is. I
cute
love
as
her.
A button.
Yeah, she was great. But she was such, like, her mentality of playing the game was so, like, just hardened, like a veteran.
Yeah.
Where she's just like, this is the way we're going to play. She was like an Old West cowboy, is how she acted.
Yeah, she walked in on the scene like she was, a battle-hardened veteran, and it was only her second season.
I'd make the same move, just vote in the girls, because she knew she was better than all the other girls.
So Tony returns, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm feeling great, Shane. I'll ruffle your head. You did a good job, man. Like you're really feeling like, oh my god, Tony's feeling so good. He's positive.
Feels way better.
He's positive. I'm like, I can't help but feel that we're getting revved up for a horrible ending here, in which we were. Slowly, Tony's like, oh my god, like,
He just said, he said that, like, they didn't let me eat or drink for 12 hours. I did some blood tests, and I'm good to go. So, and I think that what they were doing is to check and see if there was internal bleeding, going by, like, his counts of his blood.
Yeah.
And apparently he wasn't having any problems. He was good and he's feeling good, and then all of a sudden, just like everything went down a hill.
People said he was in green face, like he was very he looked sickly to me. He did. He looked like he was going to turn into an ogre of some sort. Like he really looked green, and he's like, man, I've been having these cramps in my stomach. I feel for all women of the world for having periods and shit. He's like, I almost passed out on the toilet, and they're like, well, that's fucking serious. But he's like, oh, but I'm fine, because producers, they're like, hey, Tony, go to the fucking hospital. Yeah, Can you look at yourself? And he tries to sit up straight and he's like, oh, no, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. And they're like, no, you got to go to the hospital. The only way we're going to let you go to see the elimination is if you waive your rights to medical attention or something like that. And he's like, okay, well, I decline medical attention.
I can't believe that they gave him that option. Because the thing is, even though they do have the right to deny medical attention, you don't just say that to them. A lot of people don't know that. If you say you're on the show, you have to go in an ambulance and get checked out. Like, because ultimately MTV, they have to cover their back in the end, like legally, and as a corporation, you have to do the right move where it's like, hey, go to the hospital.
And now that's on tape.
And now they're just like, well, if you don't want medical attention, I guess we're okay with it. Just, decline it, make it formal. So it's like, no, worry about the cast member.
Yeah. And this is just to go watch an elimination. This is just to watch an elimination. He doesn't have to go do anything, but he doesn't want to go back to the hospital. And even though he was telling Bananas, there was this hot blonde nurse taking care of me all day, baby.
Like we were watching cartoons together.
Yeah, cartoons. But he doesn't want to go back. He doesn't want to watch Adventure Time with fucking Blondie McGee over there. So, was he bullshitting about being awesome at a hospital with, probably getting a rub down by the nurse and shit like that and watching cartoons? Was he making it up? And he's like, no, that hospital's bad. We are in Turkey, by the way. Like, it's a horrible place. It's a horrible country. I hate this place.
You might be right. Maybe the hospital that they take him to is a little sketch and he doesn't want to go there.
Everyone is on their way to the pit to watch the elimination round, which I'm just like, yawn. I don't give a shit. Camilla's ass is on the line and she's not even going to be able to compete. That sucks, Mm-hmm. But Tony fucking falls to the ground. And they're like, oh my god, fucking call an ambulance and shit. And the producer's like,
no, sorry, you declined it.
No.
Can't take it back.
Yeah, let him fucking die. Like, he waved his medical attention. It cuts to black. It's to be continued. It's lame as shit. I think what happened to Tony, for real, was that he just burned himself out being an amazing, like, hitting every checkpoint a challenger has to do within a handful of episodes.
Yeah.
He got in a fight.
He got into a fight. Got injured, went to the hospital, got back. He's like a veteran, and it's only like episode 3.
Yeah, so he's fucking done. I feel like he just fucking went out like a ball of fury. Like, awesome for us, awesome for producers, but like, I don't know. You can't do it. CT knows that you gotta, like, if you want to do a Rivals 2 opening like he did, you gotta, I feel like CT's stronger than that. He was able to hold down from barfing. You really.
We don't think Tony's above that.
No, he's a young guy. He's a young buck. CT's way older than Tony. Am I right?
Tony's like a river phoenix. He's a young wild card. You don't.
And Shane is like Joaquin Phoenix. Like, he will live on.
Yeah, this cleft hair do.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, so. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, it's not funny. Tony collapses, and Kellyanne's like, oh my god, like, his face is turning white. And to me, I'm like, which is it, green or white? Like, is it green face? Is it white face? Is this one of those, like, what color is the dress scenario? Well, is it blue? Is it golden? Like,
it depends if you're in the moonlight.
Yeah.
Standing in the pale moonlight, he looked white.
Yeah, so
he was like a vampire. It was first he was a zombie. But now he's a white. I don't know. Then she was saying he looked like The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
which I thought is.
And MTV's like
brownish red. But...
why would you want to help AMC? Like, they're killing us in the ratings right now.
Oh, that's true. That's a competition.
So now, speaking of CT, Tony's put in a CT scan. Corey does have someone at home, so. I mean, Mitch knew that, but now he gets upset. I guess maybe he didn't know about Anissa with Corey, because Mitch goes directly to Corey and he's like, "Hey, like, we can't be messing around with them and stuff. Like, they might be hooking up with us right now, but as soon as we're gone, they're gonna go in bed with bananas or something like that." And he's like, "What?
But if anything, it's gonna help them out, because if he has a good relationship with Anissa can have his back as well."
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just. I'm saying Mitch doesn't know. He's really upset. Plus, I mean, Corey does have a relationship, so I guess that's what he's mostly mad about. That he's willing to throw this away for a possible alliance with Anissa of all people. It's just a little.
But Corey is all too certain that when he goes back, his girlfriend isn't even gonna mind that she was cheated on. She'll take him back. Like, he's sure of this. Like, he doesn't seem like, oh, I've hurt the person at home. He's like, no, I'm still going back to that girl.
Yeah, and
so it's almost like he has an agreement that he's going to go on the show and the girlfriend's not going to care. I highly doubt that.
Well, meanwhile, Rihanna has dragged Anissa to the corner just to listen to this whole conversation, and Corey's like, "Don't worry, Mitch. Fuck these hoes. I'm only in it for the money, son," and shit like that. And Mitch is like, "Yeah, man, yeah. Welcome back, man." And Anissa's like, "What? Like that?"
Making all these faces, just listening in right outside.
Yeah. So she walks in there and directs Corey. Confronts Corey directly, and he's like, "What? It doesn't. What did you think any of this mattered?" Basically, that's what he's trying to say. And Anissa's like, "Well." Like, I'm already just like, oh, Anissa.
He's just like, I want to go to bed. Just leave me alone.
Yeah. He's like, I want to snooze, bitch. You want to help? Do you want to help me get sleepy? No? Gotta get out.
No. You're not in the mood right now.
She's like, not now. Not that you said that to your little bro, Mitch. You know? So, I don't know. It was kind of funny. I like how the producer's like, tell us what you think. And then immediately cut to Corey breaking her heart, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Anissa yells out, like, everything shows in this house. You're not safe.
Oh, yeah.
And then she storms off.
Yeah, in this game or in life.
Yeah. She's like, I don't mean in this game. I mean in life.
Oh, my God. And he looks down and he's like, wait, there is growth. You aren't safe. Oh, my God, no. It's the ultimate revenge.
Oh, my God. That'd be awful.
Okay, so now, Bananas also mentioned earlier about there's a clear divide in this house. Now we actually get to see,
so their team just took a hit.
Yeah. So now we actually get to see the rookie. It even says rookie meeting, rookie alliance meeting. Is that what the producer said?
It said guys rookie alliance.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, that's awesome.
So they're official. They've been named and they're all just in the room talking to each other.
Two pairs of twins and Corey and Mitch.
Wonder Twins activate.
Power of douchebags.
Yeah,
it works. All right, good job, Daria Rafi. Thomas, Steven, you guys do it. All right, power twins. What's the thing? Activate. Form of tool bags. It works.
Bearded tool bags.
Bearded tool bags. Corey, Mitch, activate. Form of.
I'm a really shitty boyfriend.
Yeah, I'm concerned for him.
I'm the concerned brother.
Yeah,
Rookie alliance. So the guys, and they're all saying, "Hey, we're not gonna. I don't want anyone voting out with Bananas, or anyone else. We have to be certain when we go in there who we're gonna vote for."
Yep. There's no sense of them eventually willing to turn on each other. They're just like, this. We're all new at this.
And they're all equals in this group, it seems like.
Yeah.
There's not like one person in charge.
Exactly.
3 equal teams.
Exactly. It's basically 1, 2, 3. There's basically 4 people, and then, 2 of them are twins. It's a 4-person alliance.
But they have the clone army with them.
Yeah, they got the clone army. It's just, it sounds awesome. I wish...
they look exactly the same. They're like stormtroopers.
Yes.
It's another generic clone.
You gotta come up with an alliance to name these guys. It can't be the Rookies Guys Alliance. It's gotta be something else. We could come up with a cool name, but, we'll leave that out there. The 4 Horsemen, and they're 2... they're 2... That is awesome. The 4 Horsemen. We don't even... We're like, those twins. There's really no difference. I love it. All right, 4 Horsemen.
Thomas and Steven are the same person. It's just one guy is going to get the shit beat out of him by Abram pretty soon.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Abram's like, you know what? I don't know how to tell you 2 apart. Let's fix that.
Give you a couple black eyes.
And then he beats the shit out of Steven. He's like, well, you beat up the wrong person. He's like, no, I wanted to tell you 2 apart. That's Thomas. All right. Beats the shit out of Thomas. And then he's like, wait a minute. Now I confused you both again. Steven, come here. He's
Which
like,
one of you am I mad at again?
Yeah.
Oh, that eye's feeling nice.
Oh, man. All right, let's get to the actual mission, though, huh?
Yeah.
Where TJ unceremoniously says, hey, Tony and
just out of nowhere. Just next thing I realized, I'm like, Abram's running out. And I'm like, oh.
Oh, but wasn't it awesome? Like, fucking, what's his name? Mike rides him like a horse into the sunset, but out of it, just into the game. And Abram's carrying his older brother like nothing, and he fucking jumps up to Carmia, starts necking and making out with her.
Oh yeah, just going full on.
Yeah, and Thomas
just everyone looks over and just looks on everyone's faces is like, oh, because they're all looking at Thomas, who's standing directly behind Kara.
Everyone, yeah, there's like, everyone's is either looking at Abram and Kara or looking at Thomas, and Thomas is looking at TJ, who's looking back at Thomas, is like, you. Don't you puss out of this. Look at it. Look at them. Yeah, so. Thomas is like, you know what? I heard that Abe is crazy and jealous, and I don't want to get stabbed. I don't.
And, it's just a matter of time before someone starts talking about Thomas and Cara Maria to Abe.
Yeah.
Like, is it maybe the next episode we see? Once it's his first time back in the house, someone's going to bring that up.
All Abram has to do right now is look at the cameraman
and notice that he goes like this from them to Thomas, from them to Thomas, like that. He's like, why is all the cameramen obsessed with going from us to this guy?
Thomas constantly has a smile on his face, like, whoops.
Yeah. Why is he fearing for his life? Why is he getting so much camera time? Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't get it.
And you know the producers behind the cameras are just like, all right, now let's go talk to Thomas. Just right in front of him. He's like, why are you talking to Thomas?
Yeah.
Why did you say that out loud right before you left?
Yeah.
Why do I need to know that?
And Cara Maria's like, hey, Abram's back, and, I won't apologize. I flirted my little ass off for power or whatever. And we both said, what power? What did Thomas offer? Although, if you think about it now, he actually is powerful. He's part of that Four Horsemen alliance,
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I never thought of it that way. That's
true.
true.
Oh my god. I wonder
if
that
Cara Maria kind of has a tie to the other side.
Yeah.
The other alliance.
Holy fuck. Yeah. Although she did put Thomas in against Kahada when she did. Do you think her pussy's that powerful where Thomas doesn't care?
Thomas will allow that. He'll
even with Abram just like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. You think?
I hope Abram does that. I'm gonna kill you.
Well, that's crazy. Thomas is actually kind of just getting pushed up. Like, he's going over in my eyes. I'm becoming a fan of him.
And like, what did Thomas know? He's just like, there's this hot chick, Cara Maria, and she's flirting with you. So what are you gonna do other than what he was doing? And then I was like, how is he really gonna know that she's dating Abe? Does he know that?
I don't know. He may have. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was ever really
I
said.
think Cara Maria had to have told him.
You think so?
Right? I would hope so.
But then she's like, don't worry. He's deep in the mountains. He's, Montana or whatever.
Yeah, that's forever away. That's the other side of the earth.
Yeah.
It's not cheating if you're in another hemisphere, right? That's a rule.
Quickly, we'll cut back to the Rookie Alliance, who we deemed the Four Horsemen. And they're talking, and they're like, holy shit, we need to vote in Mike. One of us are going in, but we don't want to go against each other. So we have to go for Mike. And he volunteered. Like, they already heard about that. They're like, so we need at least one more vote. So we're going to have to talk to Anissa. And Corey's just like, fuck, man. I just told her to fuck off previously. And now I got to go to her and talk to her and say, like, hey, man, But he also mentions Anissa's one of those chicks who, if you give a little bit of attention to, she'll like it. She'll see it your way. So now he's just like, God damn it, my dick's not even dry yet, and I gotta go talk to the chick again.
Oh my god.
So he's got.
I have nothing.
So anyway,
I don't feel.
So now we're at the bar. Basically, Nani and Anissa are talking shit about Kellyanne. Anissa's just like, Kellyanne's a fake bitch. She's trying to come off as like this very positive person no matter what. And I do yoga and I'm always smiling and I'm giggly and bubbly and a little out there. But Anissa's like, she's fake. I know she's not like that. I'll prove it. Give me my drink. She throws it in Kellyanne's face.
It was completely childish of Anissa.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think you can call Kellyanne fake, because in order for someone to be fake, they kind of have to be, this is going to sound insulting towards Kellyanne, and I don't mean it to be insulting, but you kind of have to be a little deeper to have another side to you so you can be fake. You have to have two layers to your personality. Kellyanne, she doesn't ever seem like she has another side. She's just Kellyanne. There's not a whole lot going on. Like, what you see is what you get. I just mean, like, she isn't super deep in, like, a way of conniving. I've never gotten that vibe from her of being, like, fake or conniving. She is who she is.
Yeah.
She's the skinny yoga chick who's good looking and not too bright, but not stupid, because she's a smart girl.
She's got her chakras aligned, and to her, that's all that matters. And that works for her. Like, the drink's in her face, and yet she's just like, it's fine. It's okay. But Anissa comes back, like, later on in the night.
Yeah, just to start talking to her again. And Kellyanne's just like, I'm over this, I'm cool, whatever.
Yeah, but Nani's just like, well, I know that you're not as cool and centered as you portray. So I'm going to start picking at your looks. Like, look at you. You're 29 and you look 7 years older than me. And Anissa's, Kellyanne's just like, yeah, well, look at you. You look like you're 40. And what is that? Your black skin? Black skin. And that's where the night kind of turned a little bit.
Mm-hmm, it did. And, like, what happened there is first there was the drink in the face. Then after that, Anissa starts kind of pushing her hair back and, like, trying to point at wrinkles, like, by her ear or something.
Yeah, botched surgeries.
Really?
No. Well, although I thought I heard that she has had plastic surgery, though.
No. Really?
Her boobs aren't real. I know that.
Yeah, but that's a lot different than something in your face. I don't think she's had anything done on her face.
I don't know. I don't
know.
I thought I heard something about that, but yeah, grain of salt.
I will not stand by that.
Okay. Well,
acknowledge that. I don't feel like, but
right.
I mean, obviously her chest is enhanced, but I don't. Her face still looks like just a normally aged face. But the problem is yeah, she's super skinny and she doesn't have any baby fat in her face at all. So, like, it hangs on her bones. So, like, around her eyes, you can see, like, the lines under the eyes. And some people, that's just the way your face ages. Some people have that.
Yeah. But what is Kellyanne getting at when she's just like, well, look at you. You look 40 and what is that? Your black skin?
Yeah, well, Kellyanne was just kind of acknowledging, hey, black people, they age a hell of a lot better than white people. Black don't crack. That's what it's called. Like,
but no,
if you can, there's a lot of, like, you can see, like, a 20-year-old black guy, and he looks the same when he's 45 or 50. Like, they don't age poorly.
Okay, well, even if that's true or if it's not, what Kellyanne said was like, hey, you look like you're 40. Someone said that Anissa's 31. I actually don't believe that. I think
she was 34.
Yeah, I think she's way older than that. But I don't know. The last time I tried to look up anything, I think I read 31. Either way, Kellyanne says, you look like you're 40, way older than me because of your black skin. So that didn't make any sense to me at all. Like, I haven't paid attention to how certain races age. I do know that the Asians age super slow sometimes. So let me throw my
I feel like Asian people, like, I've met guys who are like in their 60s, and I seriously thought they're probably like 65. I thought they were 50, like 15 years younger.
Yeah.
And I feel like black people, Asian people, they seem to age a little better, and I think Kellyanne, that was what she was trying to say. I don't know. God. Maybe I'm just defending her, but that's... I don't feel like what she said was, like, malicious or, like, her trying to be racist. Like, oh, what is that, your black skin? Like, why would you just acknowledge that someone is their skin is black? Like, why would you do that unless you had, like, a point behind it?
Yeah.
It's just that Kellyanne she wasn't very articulate in the moment and didn't really say what she was trying to say.
Yeah, who knows where it came from. She felt possessed by the spirit of Robin. She's just like, you know, what are you, black, white, Asian, Jewish? She had the Star David on her, right? You pointed that out.
Yeah, Anissa did.
Well, either way, the whole fucking point is that she says that she comes out and she's like, guess what, Rihanna? What she said. She said that I had black skin, and Rihanna's like, what? That's totally true. How dare she? And because Jen is just like, if you're orange, you're orange. If you're yellow, you're yellow. Like, it was adorable because Jen is just like, I know colors.
I love Jenna there. I thought she was amazing. She was really good, and it was kind of funny, and it was the way I kind of look at it too, where it's like, come on. You can't, just because someone acknowledges race doesn't make that statement racist. You can't just call something racist because someone acknowledged that race exists.
Yes, you can. In this PC age, everything is up for debate.
Well, yeah, everyone is just waiting to throw their arms in the air and be like, oh, look at this, how offensive. And it's like, no, if she would have said something mean or stereotypical, then it would be like, yes, okay, then I understand that. Yeah. That's a reason to think it's racist.
And, you know, Anissa hears that, like, black skin, what? I have that. But she could have said, what is that, your lesbian skin? And she'll be like, what? And we're like, what is that, your Jewish skin? And she'll be like, what? You know, like,
West
Anissa,
Indian?
There's every single, yeah, exactly. Anissa has so many facets to her character that, honestly, I didn't feel too bad. Because Anissa already threw the fucking drink in Kellyanne's face long before any of that. Anissa was out for blood. She was out to fucking break Kellyanne. And Kellyanne, she kind of fumbled her words and just like, she was just like, black. I see black. And he's like, oh, I showed you. And security had to come in because Anissa actually kind of
Yeah, and then she pushed her. That was three things. I wrote that down. I'm like, Anissa threw a drink. Then she started touching her hair, and then she pushed her.
Yeah.
She was all being very aggressive and abrasive and physical. And Kellyanne, and you could actually see the moment when Kellyanne looked at the camera crew and was like pointing at her like, what the hell that? She just put her hands on me. Yeah. And that's when they stepped in.
Yeah, that's right. Challenge.
So it wasn't just like the producers just jumped in, because that's what I thought at first. But rewatching it, I was like, okay, Kellyanne kind of looked like she just pushed me. She doesn't want this to get physical, because Kellyanne does yoga. She's chill. She's like Anissa. She's always getting so worked up over stuff.
Yeah.
She needs to just tone it down a notch.
Yeah, they go back and
at the house, there's Mitch and Kellyanne. Yeah. Kellyann's just bawling out on the porch.
Yeah, she's just like, I called her black. I'm not a racist. And stuff. She's like carving it in her arm. She's like, I'm not a racist. She's not doing that extreme, but like she's like, you know, eventually Mitch should have been like, who are you trying to convince, Kellyanne? Who are you trying to convince? And can I remind you that I'm in elimination tomorrow? I really need the sleep. Like, you're a fan favorite, right? Who's my fan favorite? And Kellyanne's like, I'm not the fan favorite anymore. I never was.
He's like, well, yeah, it was great. Mitch's line, he was in full-on guy comforting mode, where he wasn't even making sense to what he was saying. He's like, you're not a racist. You're the fan favorite. It was like, well, just because you're a fan favorite doesn't mean you can't be racist. Like, he's just like trying to appease her in any way he can.
Yeah, you know how many fans Trump has? And he's extremely racist.
Yeah.
It's possible. Young Mitch, but he doesn't know any better. He's young.
But so long, and that's the episode.
Yeah, that's the episode. So like, subscribe, comment if you want to. Check out our channel. We have other seasons covered. Battle of the X's 2. The Duel, the Gauntlet 1. What else do we got covered? Battle of Bloodlines. Rivals 1. Yeah, check all that shit out. It's on our channel. And this is Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud.
David Lauer.
Peace out.